ඔබ අප කරේ තබන විශ්වාසය අපි ආරක්ෂා කරනවා.
We are safeguarding the trust you have placed in us. We are strengthening it. I am aware that there's a lot of noise outside. Some people said there was a president in August. I think there will be another president in December.
ඉන්නවා. හරි. ගණන් ගන්න එපා.
Don't take those seriously. All of that reflects political failure, driven by uncertainty about the power of defeat. But when you strip away those statements, the reality is different. And what is that reality? Slowly but steadily, we are rebuilding the country.
අපි අපේ රට ගොඩනගනවා.
This gathering, held at the auditorium of the National University of the Maldives, was organized by the Sri Lankan High Commission in the Maldives. The president clarified the ongoing process to uphold the rule of law.
අපිට කිසිවෙක්ගෙන් පෞද්ගලික පරිගැනීමේ වමනාවක් නැහැ.
We have no desire to take personal revenge on anyone, but we do have a sincere intention. Every citizen in our country must be subject to the law, not above it. People should fear the law. They should be afraid to engage in corruption. They should be afraid to take bribes. But what happened in our country? Massive corruption turned into a tool for accumulating vast wealth and rising above the law. We must build a state where everyone is equal before the law. Let me say this clearly. Not just avoiding bribes. We are making Sri Lanka a country where people are afraid to even think of taking a bribe. The head of the prison department has been taken into custody. The head of immigration has been taken into custody. A team from the Department of Motor Traffic has been taken into custody, as well as in customs. The Inspector General of Police has been taken into custody. I saw in reports that a former Navy commander has also been taken into custody. Why? Because all of them once stood above the law. They manipulated the law to suit their own interests. But we are enforcing the law without bias or hierarchy. The next major focus is to eliminate the corruption that has plagued our country's key political institutions. I give you this assurance. As President, along with this cabinet and this parliament, we will build a government that for the first time will not steal a single cent of public money. We have already put a stop to the bribery, corruption and destruction that had deeply infiltrated our political institutions.
මහජනගේ මුදල සතයක් හොරකම් කරන්න නැති ආණ්ඩුවක් හදලා දෙන පළමු වතාවට. මුළු මනින්ම දේශපාලන අධිකාරිය වෙලිලා තිබුණු අල්ලස දූෂණය නාස්තිය අපි නතර කරලා තියෙනවා.
President Anukumara Dissanayake stated that maximum effort is being made to strengthen the country's reserves without resorting to further commercial borrowing.
අපි ඉතා ඉක්මනින් විශේෂයෙන්ම චීනය, ඉන්දියාව සහ ජපානය
We are moving swiftly, especially with investments and development projects from China, India and Japan. Most of these will be launched before the end of this year. The next crucial factor is our need for dollars. I'm happy to say that Sri Lanka is now generating foreign exchange from multiple sources. This year, Sri Lankan migrant workers have sent back the highest amount of remittances in our history. The second major source is tourism. This year will mark the highest number of tourist arrivals and the highest dollar earnings from tourism in Sri Lanka's history. Third is export income. I believe 2025 will be the year Sri Lanka earns the highest export revenue. We've opened letters of credit for vehicle imports worth $1.2 billion. That's already in motion. This reflects a key indicator of economic stability. Fourth is foreign direct investment. So far this year, we've received $563 million in FDI through the BOI. Compared to last year, that's a 101% increase, more than double. All of this has come in just 6 months. We've also approved 4 new projects in the port city worth $1.4 million. Let me tell you something. For a long time, the government's account was in overdraft, deep in debt. But now, not only do we have dollar reserves, the central bank is maintaining reserves worth trillions of rupees. We have reserves. What we had before was a deficit. This government has also maintained the highest single-digit interest rate for the longest period in recent history, a very important economic indicator. Currently, our foreign reserves stand at $6.3 billion. We expect to exceed $7 billion by the end of this year. Some people are trying to stir fear about 2028, saying the country will collapse. It won't. Remember this, Sri Lanka will not collapse in August. We've carefully calculated everything. Under our debt restructuring program, there is no major repayment burden in the starting year, only a small amount. From 2028 to 2031, we won't have to pay large debt installments. We've restructured our debt The next significant increase will come in 2032. This means we have about 6 years to prepare ourselves well to manage future repayments. We are doing everything we can to strengthen our dollar reserves and improve our repayment capacity without taking on more commercial loan. It was commercial debt that pushed us into this crisis. That's why people say 2028 will be a problem, but it won't. I'm telling you, we've accepted the risk. We know what needs to be paid in 2028. We've already entered all this data into our financial systems. If we take a loan today, we can already see how much we will need to repay in 2040. We only borrow if we know we can repay it by 2040. For 2025, we expect a revenue of 4.5 trillion rupees. This year, for the first time, government revenue will exceed the estimated target. Customs has already earned 80 billion rupees more than expected. The excise department has increased its revenue by 103% in the first 5 months. We are generating income. This government will not collapse. Let them think what they want. We too did politics from the opposition, but we didn't do politics by saying the government would collapse. We did politics by saying we are needed. We've stabilized the first step of the economy. It's stable. There is hope. Investors are coming.
අපි පළමු පියවර ස්ථාවර කරලා තියෙනවා ආර්ථික. ස්ථාවරයි. බලාපොරොත්තු තියෙනවා. ආයෝජකයන් එනවා.